depth. That is the Modbus RS485 RTU communication. The content of this video include the following points. First of all, we will see that what Modbus RS485 RTU stand for and its history. Then we will see is there any difference between Modbus protocol and RS485 communication in detail along with their feature. Then the next and the most important topic of the video we will see is the Modbus communication parameter, which further includes the RS485 port or common parameter which all devices must have in a Modbus network, and the Modbus protocol parameter which are essential to see the data values during the Modbus communication. So let's start our first topic from the content, that is what does Modbus RS485 RTU stand for. In Modbus RS485 RTU, Modbus is the protocol. It is basically a messaging structure which includes slave address, function code, data and some checks, which we will see in detail as video proceed. Modbus protocol exists in the seven layer of the OSI model, that is in the application layer. Coming to the RS485 is basically an electrical standard or a physical medium on which Modbus protocol message moves. It includes the electronic circuit, wires and networking scheme which we use in the communication. In the OSI model, it exists on the first two layers, that is the physical and the data link layer. And the RTU is basically the mode of Modbus protocol. There are two modes of the Modbus protocol, or what we call as the two-way of Modbus protocol messaging structure or messaging frame. First is the RTU messaging frame, which include slave address, function code, data, CRC check method. All of the data is in byte form. Similarly, ASCII messaging frame has some structure as RTU with addition of some checks at the start and end. The data in ASCII messaging frame is in character or string base. Modbus RTU is the most common way of Modbus protocol implementation because it takes half a time from Modbus ASCII to transmit the same content. These two modes are incompatible, so a device configured for RTU cannot communicate with one using an ASCII. Let's see some of the history of the Modbus protocol and RS485 communication. Starting with the Modbus protocol. Modbus protocol was introduced in 1979 by the PLC manufacturing company called Modicon. Now it is owned by Schneider. Before 1979, let's suppose we have three different PLCs in three different areas of plant. There was a need to centralize the data of these area of plant. To fulfill this need, Modicon introduced the Modbus protocol to centralize the data of different areas of plant. Modbus basically stand for Modbus plus Feedbus. Modicon plus Feedbus. Similarly, let's see some history of RS-485 communication. RS-485 was introduced in 1983. It was approved in March 1998. You normally see nowadays USB was used for communicating different devices, or any other fast medium was used for communicating different devices. But in old days, the serial communication via RS-232 was used for communicating these devices. RS-232 has some limitation that it can communicate up to the distance of 50 feet. We can only have one driver, one receiver in RS-232 communication. You can communicate with a data rate of 460 kilobyte per second. To overcome this issue, a 4-wire RS-422 communication method was introduced with one driver and 10 receiver with a speed of 10 megabyte per second. To further improve the communication method, RS-485 was introduced, which can communicate up to 31 receiver or slave device with a much higher communication speed up to 30 megabyte per second. Before going to the communication parameter of Modbus RS-485, let me summarize all the discussion we have done up till now for the Modbus protocol and RS-485 communication standard. Modbus protocol is basically a messaging structure that is used to exchange data between two devices. RS-485 defines the physical electrical characteristics of the driver and receiver, including wiring that allow data to be transferred. Modbus protocol can not only be tied up with RS-485, it can be done on other electrical standards such as RS-232, RS-422, radio, satellite, microwave, DC baby, etc. Similarly, RS-485 communication standard can be used with other protocol also, like Profibus, DS-485, Optomux, EMX 512, DCC, etc. After understanding the basic of Modbus protocol and RS-485 communication, we will now see the Modbus RS-485 RTU communication parameter, which is required during the serial communication between devices. Let's suppose we have following bunch of different devices as you are seeing in this picture. We have to do the Modbus communication of all of these devices in a single Modbus loop. The first thing we do is the wiring. As a Modbus RS485 is a two-wire communication with a differential signal. Every Modbus device has two signal points for wiring, that is A and B. All the devices signal point A are connected with a single wire. Similarly, all the devices signal point B are connected with each other. That's what we call all the devices are in the series. Termination resistance is used at the two extremes and in order to prevent the signal reflection from an open circuit. Once the wiring is done, the first and the most important parameter you must know about the Modbus RS485 communication is the baud rate. All the devices in the same Modbus loop must have the same baud rate. Baud rate is the rate on which data is transferred on RS485 network. Its unit is bit per second. There are different types of baud rate on which data can move. This range from 1200 bit per second to 115200 bit per second, including of 2400, 3600, 4800, 9600, 19200, 38400 and 57600 bit per second. The most commonly used baud rate in the Modbus communication is 9600 bit per second and 19200 bit per second. Maximum cable length for the Modbus communication depend upon its baud rate. Higher the baud rate, less will be its length for transmission of smooth data. For example, at 19600 bit per second, the cable length can be used up to 1200 meter. At 100k bit per second, cable length can be used up to 1000 meter. Similarly, at 10 megabit per second, cable length reduces to 10 meter only. You can increase the cable length by adding a Modbus repeater in your Modbus network. The second common parameter in RS485 communication is the number of data bits. All the devices in the same RS485 network must have the same number of data bits. As you know, data sent across all the Modbus network is in the form of frames. There are two types of number of data bits used for frame formation. First is 7 and second is 8. When you choose 7, you make 7-bit digital frame. When you choose 8, you make 8-bit digital frame. This is handled internally by RS485 communication port. Normally we use number of data bit as 8 and the frame you are seeing in this picture is also 8-bit. The third common parameter in RS485 communication is stop bit. All the devices in the same RS485 network must have the same number of stop bit. Stop bit is used for the detection of ending of frame. When a receiver receives data, he must know that when the frame is or when the data is ended. There are two types of stop bits, that is 1 or 2. The fourth common parameter in RS485 communication is the priority. All the devices in the same RS485 network must have same priority. Parity is also a sort of error checking. There are three types of parity: none, odd, or even. Usually non-parity is used because the protocol used on RS485 has its own way of checking error. So before going toward the Modbus parameter, let me summarize all the RS485 parameters of all the devices which are in the same communication network. We call these four parameters as a common parameter or port parameter or RS4 parameter of the devices. As mentioned earlier, all these parameters will remain same for all the devices. For let's take an example. All the devices must have baud rate of 9600 bit per second, number of data bit as 8, stop bit as 1, parity as none. Usually these are the default values, but this can be changed also. As we have seen all the RS485 parameters required during communication. Now we will see the Modbus parameter one by one. The first Modbus parameter is the unit ID. Every device in a communication network has its own unique ID. In this animation, you have seen that master has given ID 0, slave has given ID of 1, 2, 3 and 30 respectively. As we know earlier that in Modbus RS485 communication loop, there is a 1 master and 31 slave. But number of slaves can be increased using Modbus repeater, and it can be increased up to 247. So the slave address ranges is from 1 to 247. A Modbus communication is always initiated by the master. The slave mode never transmits data without receiving request from master mode. The slave node never communicate with each other. All the communication parameter and slave ID along with the wiring is used to generate a communication between two devices. Once the communication is generated, then we are able to move the data from one device to another device. For example, as you are seeing, let's suppose the real-time mass flow value on flow meter is 400 meter cube per hour, and we want this data on our master device after the communication is established. Basically 400 is the data. This data exists on some memory area which was represented by the function code in Modbus parameters. Also, this data memory area has address which we call as a register. This register has some data type and data formatting. At the moment, you need no panic about the term I used. I will elaborate all of these terms one by one. So starting with the term memory area of the Modbus. Memory area of the Modbus consists of four parts, that is coil, input register and holding register. At the start of video, as I have told you that Modbus was introduced by the Modicon. Back then, its memory area was defined just as the memory area of PLC, where coil was same as we have discrete output in PLC. Input was same as we have discrete input in PLC. Input register and holding register was same as we have analog input and analog output in the PLC. Just like digital input and digital output, coils and input have one bit of data, and just like analog input and analog output, input and holding register are of 16 bit of data. The memory area of Modbus in Modbus protocol was defined by the function code number. There are two categories of function code, one is read and one is write. Function code 1 is used to assess the read value of the coil. Function code 2 is used to assess the read value of input. Function code 4 is used to assess the read value of input register. And function code 3 is used to assess the read value of holding register. If we want to write a value of a single coil, we use function code 5. If we want to write a value of multiple coils together, we use function code 15. Similarly, 6 is used to write single and 16 is used to write multiple register value. As you have noticed that write function code is for the coil and holding register, which represent digital output and analog output respectively, and for input and input register we have only read-only function value, as it represents the digital input and digital output, which is a similar case as we have in our PLC. Once we understand the function code of memory area of Modbus, we will now see the range of data addresses which exist within this memory area. For the memory area coils, the data address ranges from 1 to 10,000. For the memory area input, the data address ranges from 10,001 to 20,000. Every single address of coil and input have one bit of data. Similarly, the memory area input register have the data address range from 30 40,001 to 40,000, and the memory area of folding register have the data address ranges from 40,001 to 50,000. Every single address of input and holding register have 16 bit of data. To clarify more about the function code and data address, we will come back to our example which we explained earlier. For defining this mass value in master device, the flow meter vendor has provided a chart in which you can see that for memory area definition they had provided us a function code for which show it exists in the memory area of input register. Similarly, input register given as 30,004 to 30,005. They are using 16-bit register to show floating values. They are using two 16-bit registers to show the floating value. In the input register, first value also show as the function code and remaining four values show the data address. So the data address of mass flow is 4 and 5. In this chart, we had seen the function code, the data address, and the data type given. Now we will see the data types of data types in detail. Data type is actually a classification of a data which tells the interpreter how to use the data and what is the size of a data. The first type of data which we use in Modbus communication is Boolean, which size is 1 byte. It can be either true or false. Then we have a character data type which is 1 byte of a size. Then we have short integer data type. In short integer, 2 byte data can be transferred on this type of data type. Then we have a 4 byte integer data type. Then we have a 4 byte float data type. It is usually used to transfer the real-time values from our instrument, energy meters, or any other device. Then we have a 8 byte double precision floating point number, which is actually used for transferring the totalizer value in Modbus communication. Data formatting is actually the sequence of a byte of a word in the digital data. There are two types of data formatting. One is big endian, other is little endian. Let's suppose we have a value 4000 which is in decimal. Usually we want values in decimal. You can also see that binary and hexa conversion is also shown. In big endian data formatting, data is transferred as it is, means there is no shift of any byte between the data. But in the little endian, least significant byte came first, as you are seeing in the animation. Similarly, you can see it for hex value also. Intel and ATM use the little endian format. IBM or Motorola use the big endian data format. Summarizing all of my presentation, you must know all of the following parameters you are seeing in your screen of both the devices will be very necessary if you want to communicate these devices.